Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a quick little video about lift capacity. Now it's not so much, I don't have any scientific tests or anything like that, but I did want to kind of share this with you because this Kioti CS2520S is rated to lift 1,060 pounds, I believe is what it is. But sometimes those numbers are a little bit misleading because it depends on, how far out in front of the bucket you are, or if you have something like a set of pallet forks on, that can make a drastic difference in the lift capacity on a machine. So what I've got today, I actually just went and filled up my diesel tank, and it is 56 gallons. I actually put 56.6 gallons in there, which is roughly 450 pounds, plus the weight of the tank, which it's not a whole lot. It's probably like 50, 60 pounds, maybe a little bit more than that. So we're looking right around 500 pounds of weight that we're going to be trying to lift. But the thing is, we're going to have 500 pounds and that tank is a couple feet long. So that's going to put it out here on the forks pretty far. So I'm really curious to see if it will actually lift that 500 pounds and get it out of my truck. So let's jump right in here and see what it does. I'll try to get as close up as I can to get the weight up close to the tractor. So that right there, it did pick it up off the truck, but it will not lift it anymore. And the only way that it lifted right there is where I tilted it back a little bit. So I'm going to move back a little bit. That gave me just a little bit more lift. So that's as high as it'll lift right there. So I'm just barely clearing the tailgate. I didn't go any farther forward because I didn't want to squish my hose right there, but we're within about 2 or 3 inches of being all the way up. So something a little funny here, while the loader was raised up, I could curl that towards me, but now that it's down, it will not curl it towards me, but it will raise it back up. And see, now I can curl it up. So down at ground level, it will not curl back. So you can see I can't curl it right there. So I definitely call this a successful little experiment. I've never tried to lift my fuel tank before with this tractor, but I will say, if you had a different set of pallet forks that weighed a whole lot less, these were actually meant for my M6060, and they're 48 inches long, and they're rated for 3,000 pounds. So, they're pretty heavy duty set, and that takes a lot of the lifting capacity off the tractor. Plus, the 48 inches, if you got a set of 42 inches, that would be less weight farther out, which would also increase your lift capacity on your forks. But I was able to kind of complete my goal because I don't have the loader on my M6060 right now because I've been cutting hay. And being able to move and transport this tank, you do have to watch a little bit more of what you're doing because, you know, with this much weight on this smaller tractor, you can definitely feel it there. Whereas the M6060, you can't even hardly feel it pick it up. Like, it just does it without any effort. But I just thought I'd share this video because, you know, this tractor is rated to lift 1,000 pounds. This tank, with the fuel in it, everything is only about 500. And while it does lift it, it is right at the absolute maximum of what it can lift with this set of forks. So, like I say, the forks can make a little bit of a difference, but whenever you start putting weight farther out from your bucket or from your pins on your loader arms, it makes a drastic difference of how much your tractor and loader can lift. So I was able to manipulate things enough to be able to lift it off the truck and scoot it back and then work it down. And, you know, again, it worked out just right for me to be able to move this tank. But if you had something that weighed 550 pounds, I don't think it would do it at all, because this was right on that threshold of just being too much for it. I could only move it certain ways and at certain locations of the loader, you know, like being down flat, I couldn't tilt it back. But once I raised it up, the loader would actually raise it and then I could tilt it. But then I couldn't raise it any higher either with the loader. So I was pretty much to the limits of both functions on the loader. So like I say, I thought I'd just share that with you because there's always, you know, these misconceptions and people are looking at loader lift capacities. It really depends on what you're doing with your loader. What attachment you have on the front can make a huge difference in it. Most of the time, they are rated at the pins on your loader or within like 19 inches or something like that of, you know, like say right at your bucket. And so these numbers can be skewed a lot depending on where that load is on your loader. So that brings up another test that I may try to do in the future. I may try to put the bucket on here and see how close we can actually get to that 1,000-pound lift capacity. So if you'd like to see that, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below if you'd like to see it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you outdoors.